guys, it's Sierra here, aka Book Royal, and today I'm going to be doing the rapid fire book tag.
Alright, Book Royal, if that is your real name. Let's get started. Ebook or physical book?
Definitely physical book, okay? My mom got me a Kindle one year for Christmas and I was like, this is so great, now I can just read books whenever. Never used it. It just wasn't the same. I like being able to physically turn the pages, and I like dog-ear pages with quotes and stuff that I have on, so I can go back to them and write them down and keep them in a jar. So physical books.
Paperback or hardback?
Paperback, definitely, for one specific reason. This little cover thingy from hell, they always get wrinkled because I always carry my books around my book bag or wherever I am, so they always get wrinkled. I always lose them. I hate those little cover thingies, coverlets. I don't even know, do they have a name? I hate them. Also, paperbacks are generally cheaper.
Online or in-store book shopping?
Okay, so I like physically going to bookstores, but as far as actually going to buy books, definitely online. For two reasons. One, I am in college, so it's really hard to, find ways and time to go out to bookstores and run around the aisles and sniff the books until my friends drag me out kicking and screaming. And two, because they tend to be a lot cheaper online, especially if you're going to a used book website or even just on Amazon. They are going to be a lot cheaper. This is not to say that you shouldn't buy books in bookstores, because you definitely can, and that's really good, especially small bookstores. You need to really support them. But for me, as a broke college student, definitely I have to buy them online.
Trilogies or series?
I don't have a preference. I feel like I've been blessed in that all the series that I've read have valid reasons for how long they need to go. I haven't really read a series yet where I'm okay, but you really could have ended at book 3. So either or, as long as they're not dragging it out, or as long as I don't feel the story's being cut off, because it drives me crazy. I'm no, there's more, please, write more, please.
Heroes or villains?
Heroes all the way. I know a lot of people really like villains because they tend to be more intriguing characters, but I feel it's kind of hard to find book villains that I really like, or that not obviously, but hate with respect. On Game of Thrones, I'm getting so off topic for a minute. On Game of Thrones, Cersei Lannister, I hate her, but I hate her with respect. She is a good villain. But I just don't think I've read any books where I'm they're a really good villain. Maybe Throne of Glass. But as far as heroes versus villains, definitely heroes. Although I will say I don't like heroes that are very generically heroic. I like heroes that are different. I like when they branch out. I don't want all heroes that were just born heroes and they're from the jump they're just let's be heroic. I don't like that. I want some contrast. I want some development.
A book you want everyone to read?
Lady Midnight. I want everyone to read Lady Midnight because I love Lady Midnight. I mean, you really have to read the Mortal Instruments series, but if I could have a perfect world where I was everybody must read this book, Lady Midnight, because I'm still not over it and I love it.
Recommend an underrated book.
I would like to recommend My Most Excellent Year by Steve Klugger. It's a book that I feel I haven't heard people talk about, and it's kind of contemporary-ish, and I really like it. I think it's a really cute book. Maybe a little, I don't think it's kiddish, but then again, I haven't read it since beginning of high school, but I loved that book. It has Mary Poppins references and an amazing friendship, a lot of it's just a really good book. You have to read it. One cannot explain My Most Excellent Year. One must simply read My Most Excellent Year.
The last book you finished?
The last book that I finished was The Ruby Circle by Richelle Mead. Haha, hint hint, video coming for it soon, hint hint, wink wink.
The last book you bought?
Empire of Storms, and I'm so excited, but I'm also mad because everybody's reading Empire of Storms and reviewing it, and I still haven't finished Queen of Shadows. So when I get a spare minute, I'm definitely finishing Queen of Shadows so I can review that and Empire of Storms.
Weirdest thing you've used as a bookmark?
Oh, I know what the weirdest thing is. One time I used a strand of hair that had fallen out because it was a really thick book back in high school so that I wouldn't lose my page.
Used books, yes or no?
Used books, yes. I mean, as long as you can still read them, like, I don't really care. Like, you know, somebody's gonna love used books, and they tend to be a lot cheaper, and I am always down for getting things for cheaper because I'm broke.
Top 3 favorite genres.
Fantasy, sci-fi, contemporary, maybe. Yeah.
Borrow or buy.
I think it definitely depends on the situation. Like, sometimes I'll want to like borrow a book and I like just won't like need it again because I'm like, I'm probably not going to go back and reread it. But a lot of times if I can own it, I will own it because I like going back and like, I don't know. I just like the idea of like owning books. Like, I know there's books that I've read and I'm like, I'm going to buy this copy again and own it. For instance, like Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, I want to eventually buy that and own it. And Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, I want to eventually buy that and own it, as well as City of Glass by Cassandra Clare. That's like the 3rd book in the Mortal Instrument series. I really, really, really want to own it so I can go back and read it and I can mark it up and I just like the like idea of like owning books. Like, maybe even if I don't go back and reread them, I just like the idea of being like, this is here, I can go back and reread it, I can go back and like reread my favorite passages.
Characters or plot.
Characters. That's really hard. I think I'm gonna go with characters just because I feel like characters can make a plot better. Although I will say some plots are like just A1, but you can't really, at least I can't read a book if I know that the protagonist if I don't click with the protagonist.
Long or short books.
Long books, books that never end. Short to me is like 300, 400 pages, and long to me is like 700, 800 pages. And most of the books that I read are somewhere in between that range.
Name the first 3 books you can think of.
Ooh, pressure. Ooh. Books. Throne of Glass, Cinder, and Heist Society. There we go. That was 3.
Our World or fictional worlds.
Fictional world by When Do I Leave? I'm still waiting on my Hogwarts letter. I'm so irritated. I've been waiting for so long. September 1st has come and gone, and I still haven't gotten it, but it was obviously just a mix-up. Like, it's fine.
Audiobooks. Yes or no?
Yes. Sometimes I don't like them because they like make these voices, so sometimes I can't take them seriously. But especially if I'm like reading a book and I want to know more, like I don't want to stop reading it even though I have to like do things or walk places, I'll listen to it on audiobook as I'm walking places and like trying to be a normal civilian and functioning member of society. But I usually find them on YouTube a lot of times. But as far as like buying audiobooks, I am probably not an audiobook buyer. I really want like a physical copy.
Do you ever judge a book by its cover?
Oh, for sure, all the time. Every single person judges a book by its cover, and if you say that you don't, then you're lying, because you definitely have judged at least one book by its cover. But I try not to. A lot of times the books that I get into are ones that I've like heard from hearsay, and if I judged books by their covers, I probably wouldn't have liked them. For the longest, I was not going to read the Vampire Academy series because the covers are awful. Like, they have probably the worst covers, but then I read it and I loved it, so I'm trying not to judge books by their covers as much.
Book to movie or book to TV adaptations?
I think it depends on the specific adaptation, because a lot of times when you go from book to TV, the entire plot gets skewed, which I don't always enjoy. But then I feel like book to movies, they stick more closely to the book content because they'll have like a specific number of movies they can do, whereas with a TV show they're like, I'm just gonna draw this out for as long as it goes, like 7, 8 seasons, so then they go like way off track. And also when it comes to TV series, I feel like they're very heavily influenced by fans and shipping, and that kind of messes up the plot because it turns into a lot of the writers pandering to fans.
Series or standalones?
I am a slut for series because I always want more. Like, I don't like when very rarely do I read one book and I'm like, okay, like that's enough. Like you can stop there. Like that's all I wanted. So series. That is all the questions that I have for the rapid fire book challenge. If you like this video, I'd love it if you would subscribe and like it down below. Or if you have any ideas of like what books you'd like me to read or review or any tags you'd like me to do, let me know. Or if you just want to chat about books, then hit me up. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.